What's going on, everybody? Thanks for checking us on out. Tobin here with you. Appreciate you guys checking out the channel. You like the Tobin and Leroy radio program. You like to watch our mugs. You guys can do that on WQAM's YouTube page. Our new home every weekday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we're streaming live on Twitch, 560 WQAM. Soon on YouTube. I know I've said that a while, so that one's not in my hands. But anyway, let us get to the task at hand, and that is the Miami Heat getting themselves a victory over the Charlotte Hornets, a team that is not good, and they needed every bit of Jimmy Butler to get this one done tonight. However, I'll take it. After watching the dagger get sunk in their heart the last 2 weeks, whatever it takes to get to that finish line of a win, I'll take it. And they improved to 5-7 mercifully, because if they lost this one tonight, rock bottom would have felt a lot deeper. But they were able to pull this one out in overtime, and that was behind the heroics of Jimmy Butler, who was absolutely fantastic tonight. 35 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals. Super efficient tonight. Got to the free throw line 15 times. Just vintage Jim VP in every single way. I think in some ways, a lot of Heat fans would almost like to see this more from Jimmy Butler. When things are hitting the skids, you need your star to be a star, just to kind of drag everybody along. And this is certainly a team that is surging for itself. I've compared it a lot to the team, the running back team after the bubble season where they made the finals. And you know what? They needed a lot of these from Jimmy Butler, too. I think in a lot of ways, that was one of Jimmy Butler's best regular seasons with the Miami Heat, was the bubble season, where everybody kind of makes fun of him because they said, oh, I'm stupidly locked in. But in a lot of ways, that was a really, really good regular season campaign from Jimmy Butler. And, when you're in a position like they are right now and they're searching for stuff just to kind of get through a game, I think that's the thing that's most frustrating for Heat fans watching them is, you watch these games, and I think Spo talked a little bit about this after the game today too. You feel like for 3.5 quarters they have this thing in hand, and especially against the teams that on paper you definitely think that they're better than, but just somewhere along the way it just falls apart for them, whether that be in the fourth quarter, whether that be getting behind super early or whatever. There always just seems to be this time in a game where they just can't get things right. And you have, like tonight in the fourth quarter, getting outscored 31-19. And you just you just kind of leave yourself bewildered. Like, why is it such an effort for them to put teams away? And yeah, there's other variables right now that you could say of, they haven't had their full roster yet. They're not quite playing the rotation that they want to play because Strus is starting, Tyler's been hurt, Jimmy's been hurt. And I get all of that. But, this was one of the things that we all marveled at last year, is this team was so versatile and so deep that no matter what the combinations were, especially dealing with, Bam Adebayo's injury, Jimmy Butler being banged up, Kyle Lowry, they dealt with a lot of the stars being out. I do think that the loss of PJ Tucker, though, there is a big, big thing because, PJ just did a lot for them. A lot of the, as we say, the intangibles, never letting them let up. Great rebounder, just a dog getting loose balls. And I think you're seeing a lot with tonight with the second chance points that Charlotte was able to put forth tonight. And, you think about like the points off of turnovers. Charlotte today dominated 30-10. Those are the types of things I just feel like you do miss with not having a Tucker on your team. But that being said, they got to figure these types of things out, because this is with the good teams, you'll excuse it, but with a team like Charlotte, who's mired in a 6-game losing streak and is on the second night of a back-to-back, had uncertainty if they were going to come in on a tropical storm. You're sitting here with 2 days off, fat and sassy, and even with no Tyler Hero, you should be the much more rested, well-off team. And to see them make a fourth quarter comeback like that is it's a little bit disturbing. It's disturbing to still see stuff like this, and I think Heat fans are looking at this like, when is the run going to break through? Is there going to be a time where this Heat team can? I think the Heat fan is sitting here and wondering, like, is there going to be a time where, they can run off 4, 5 in a row, just to kind of get their record right, get things going in a better direction. And, certainly the expectation should be with all the injuries that Charlotte is dealing with. Maybe they'll have a couple guys back on Saturday, but, they're 3-10. They've dealt with a lot of chaos this offseason. You are a team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. You need to start racking these up. And then, if you have troubles against a team like Phoenix, okay, they're good. You'll deal with some of the shortcomings and know that it was a valiant effort. But when it comes to the teams that you should handle, I think that the Heat fan would just like to see a little bit more consistency throughout. But that being said, Jimmy Butler was just absolutely. I love seeing when he goes into those takeover modes because he is one of the best in the league at it. I think everybody takes it for granted, and I think that's why the national discussion on him always takes a long time to wake up, because you won't see the typical 35, 40-point games from him in the regular season a lot. And man, he's just so good when he goes into that mode. When he just wants to put his shoulder into people and get to the free throw line, and nobody can really corral him because he's too damn strong. It's a real joy to watch Jimmy Butler play basketball. He's a smart, tenacious player, and you can see why he's the heartbeat of the team. All this talk about getting another scorer and him some help, definitely. I mean, like, that would certainly be helpful, and I think you definitely saw moments tonight where Tyler Hero was sorely missed for this team. To bring some offensive firepower, to bring some offensive relief. That was, very, very noticeable tonight, especially in that fourth quarter. But he was tremendous. He was tremendous on both ends tonight, getting it done in a really, really strong effort. I thought Bam had a really good game too, with his 18 points and 14 rebounds. There were times where you were seeing him with some more aggression. He was throwing one off the backboard today to try and go at Plumlee, who, he obviously has, some pass with the old Olympic team. And Plumlee, I thought, played a really, really good game, even though if he's out here shooting free throws with his other hand and things weird like that. But, I thought Bam played well, had some clutch free throws for this team in the midst of this one too. So that was, was important. But they didn't, Duncan Robinson had a really impressive first half for them offensively, but that punch for them didn't really come from out. I mean, Max Strus had a really, really rough night from downtown, hit a clutch one to help Miami lead them back into this one when they got down. But, he had a rough night from downtown, and all in all, the downtown firepower for this team isn't quite what it was last year. I think that might be something that's going to balance out. I don't think this is something that is necessarily going to continue throughout the season. I just think some of these shooters are way too talented to be mired in stuff like this. But with Duncan, it was certainly good to see him get going, and it was certainly with the leads that they had early on in this one, he was critical, and you just see that chemistry that he has with Bam. Him and they give at points where Spo is just letting Bam basically be the point guard for this team and run things with the shooters. He seems super comfortable with that, and I think they can get a lot of success out of those moments. But tonight it was just about getting this one across and getting a fifth win for the season, because they desperately needed it. You're talking 3 straight games now that have gone razor thin down to the wire, and for this Miami Heat team, they got to try and gather it up and do it again. Hopefully, Tyler Hero was listed as questionable today. He was ruled out. And then the big news of the day, it appears that Omer Yurtseven is going to miss a significant amount of time for right now with that ankle injury. And, it's such a thing with this Heat franchise, because they keep things tight-lipped. They keep things under wraps. And you just never know. And it was just like Omer Yurtseven. You think back to that first preseason game he plays with Bam, and we're like, we're going to get to look and see what Bam and Omer Yurtseven looks like together. What is this? What kind of dynamic is this going to bring? I think we were all excited to see, because we we saw in the time where Bam was out in the 10 games that he was starting, he was averaging like 13 and 14. He was a double machine, Omer Yurtseven. I think we're all very excited to see what this guy can bring to the table, especially in spurts. I think that just having that relief and that option to go through. But this is the report from Anthony Chang. It says Miami Heat center Omer Yurtseven is yet to play for the first 3 weeks and likely won't return anytime soon. The injury keeping him out has been labeled by the Heat as a left ankle impingement. Multiple sources confirm that Yurtseven is facing the possibility of missing a large chunk of the season because of a bone spur issue in his left ankle. There is some optimism that he may be able to play. He continues to seek additional expert opinions on the injury. May need surgery, but that decision has not been made yet. The belief is that surgery wouldn't end his season, but he would be forced to miss an extended amount of time, possibly up to 3 months, which is, it's a crusher, because I think people were expecting definitely more from Omer Yurtseven, kind of that second year in the Heat system, if you will, what he was going to bring to the table. Talked a big game coming into this year too. And not having him and not having Victor Oladipo has shortened up this rotation to a big degree. And I think things you were counting on, a little bit more size from Yurt and dynamic playmaking off the bench, you don't have either one of those things. And they are things that this Heat team sorely misses. And we got no word on Victor Oladipo other than the report from Windhorst recently that says he's nowhere close to coming back. Now it seems confirmed that Omer Yurtseven is nowhere close to coming back. And it makes you wonder, what I think Heat fans were excited about the thought of Haywood Highsmith and that he would bring something to the table. They have not gone that route with him. Jamal Cain has looked good in a couple of his G League games thus far, but does he really fit in a position right now where he would actually get minutes, or is it better to have him develop? And then for Jovic, same deal. Like, they have him there, but I think you saw him a little bit lost in the Heat system defensively. They don't really trust him yet. And I don't know what that, unless there's a night where, Dedmon is dealing with that plantar fasciitis. And mind you, Dedmon's also playing a little bit banged up. I don't know when that time's going to be that Jovic gets run either. I think there's a lot of searching that's going on right now. And that's why I say, like, tonight's heroics from Jimmy Butler, you may need more of that. And you certainly, I think, you got to find, even Bam and I think Kyle. I think that those three guys, especially if Tyler continues to miss time, they gotta know when to step on the gas a little bit offensively. I know that it's great to make the right play to guys like Gabe and Strus, and they're certainly capable of heroics. Gabe was clutch with some big time shots tonight. He always is, but your big money guys gotta support, and I think that also may mean a reincarnation of old Jim VP. But for tonight, put this one behind you. It was an ugly one, but you got the W. Hopefully they can get it done again on Saturday.